Day number 2. I'm going to read Clever Gretel. There was once a cook called Gretel who wore shoes with red heels, and when she went out in them, she gave herself great airs. And though herself very fine indeed, when she came home again, she would take a drink of wine to refresh herself, and as that gave her an appetite, she would take some of the best of whatever she was cooking until she had had enough. For, she said, a cook must know how things taste. It happened that one day her master came to her and said, Gretel, I expect a guest that evening. You must make ready a pair of fowls. I will see to it, answered Gretel. So she killed the fowls, cleaned them, and plucked them, and put them on a spit, and then, as evening drew near, placed them before the fire to roast, and they began to be brown and were nearly done, but then the guest had not come. If he does not make haste, cried Gretel to her master, I must take them away from the fire. It's a pity and a shame not to eat them now, just when they are done to a turn. And the master said he would run himself and fetch the guest. As soon as he had turned his back, Gretel took the fowl from before the fire. Standing so long before the fire, she said, makes one hot and thirsty, and who knows who they will come? Who knows when they will come? In the meanwhile, I will go to the cellar and have a drink. So down she ran, took up mugs, and saying, here's to me, take a good draught. One good drink deserves another, she said, and it should not be cut short. So she took another hearty draught. Then she went and put the fowls down in the fire again, and basting them with butter, she turned the spit briskly around, and now they began to smell so good that Gretel, saying, I must find out what they really all right, licked her fingers and then cried, well, I never! The fowls are good. It's a sin and a shame that no one is here to eat them. So she ran to the window to see if master had guessed coming, but as she can see nobody, she went back to her fowls. Why, once the wind is burning, she cried presently, I have better eaten it and get it out of the way. So she cut it off and ate it up, and it tastes good. And then she thought, I had better cut off the other too, in case the master should miss anything. And when both wings had been disposed of, she went and looked for the master, but still he did not come. Who knows, she said, whether they are coming or not, and they must have put them all up in the inn. After a pause, she saw again, come, I may as well make myself happy. At first I will make sure of good drink, and then of good meal, and when all is done I shall be easy, and a gift of the gods are not to be despised. So first she ran down into the cellar and had the famous drink, and ate up one of the fowls with great relish. And when she was done, still the master did not come. Gretel's eyes and other fowls, saying, what one is the other must be, the two being belong together. It is only fair that they should be both treated alike. Perhaps when I have had another drink, I shall be able to manage it. So she took another hearty drink, and then the second fowl went the way of the first. Just as she was in the middle of, the master came back. Make haste, get Gretel, cried he, a guest is coming directly. Well, master, she answered,